Hey, what's up? It's Tati and I'm back with another review. Last night was Rampage and I'm gonna be honest, it was a little more boring than usual. We started off the show with Jungle Boy Jack Perry versus Ethan Page. Now I thought it was a little bit weird that Ethan didn't have his music playing out. When that happens, it's usually like a jobber's entrance, and to me I do feel like Ethan's going to be one of those guys who have I guess like a breakout moment. He's been with the company for a little bit, but I don't feel like he's been able to make a name for himself by himself. So I'm hoping he's going to end up moving away from Stokely Hathaway and whatever the name of their group is called, cannot remember, but I don't think it's working in his favor right now. I do feel like it's okay for him to be part of a group and, you know, finds out what makes him stick out from those guys and then have his own singles career. But right now, that's not happening. This was actually a great match. Obviously, there was those distractions with Stokely Hathaway, Isaiah Cassidy, and Matt Hardy. Now, Isaiah and Matt are not trying to help him. Like, they have this stupid thing where Ethan basically has their contracts and they got to do whatever Ethan tells them to do. In ways, he tries to use these two guys for his advantage during this match, but they're not really wanting to help him. They're just doing whatever it is because, you know, their contracts are in his hands. Now, when it seems like he's pretty much in control of the match because he have these guys with him, Hook comes out. He doesn't get involved, but you know, his music does startles Ethan a bit, and that does help Jungle Boy get into control and ends up winning with a roll-up. So you know, essentially Jungle Boy had his own distraction as well. However, even though I don't think the whole thing is working out with the whole Matt Hardy and Isaiah having their contracts with Ethan or whatever, I still do think that they can, you know, scrap that whole thing and let the two go and keep Stokely Hathaway with Ethan as a manager, and they can do something to push up his career. I really do feel like he has a lot of potential to make a good name for himself. But anyway, since Hook came out and put his nose where it don't belong, Ethan decided that they should have a tag team match, whereas Ethan and Matt Hardy versus Jungle Boy and Hook. That's going to be an interesting match. To be completely honest, the whole tag team thing with Hook and Jungle Boy, I think that's gonna work in Hook's favor because we could see more of what he has to offer. So there's no more squash matches at this point, so he'll be going against, you know, really good competitors, and we can really see what he can do in less than 2 minutes. So I'm definitely looking forward to that match, and that does give him an opportunity to grow as a competitor, and that will be for next week on Dynamite. Up next, we have Ortiz and Eddie Kingston in the ring, basically wasting our time with the storyline of how Kingston was about to hit Julia with that chair, and Ortiz is like, hey, where we come from, we don't put our hands on girls. And then I thought about it. You guys are from New York. I'm from there, and I know plenty of guys. They don't care if you're a woman, if you're a man, anything in between, a dog, a cat. They'll put their hands on you if they felt threatened or if they felt like they wanted to. So I just thought that was so absolutely weird, and then a little bit of a waste of our time, because it's like, where are you guys going with this storyline? I don't see how this helps House of Black, and I don't see how this helps them either. But anyway, they get into a little scuffle. Eddie Kingston ends up hitting him with a chair, and he just walks out. And it was just so weird, like how he just walked away like he didn't do anything. I don't know where they're going with this, but I'm absolutely bored. They need to scrap the storyline quickly if they don't have anything big coming from this. So next we have Brian Cage versus Willie Mack. Now, they had a match on Dark a couple of days ago, so I was kind of surprised when they announced that they were going to do something again. What I feel is that they probably was impressed with Willie. They did a really great job at that match with Dark, so I guess they're giving him an opportunity with this rematch so that he can have like you know, a televised match, because he did a great job. Now this was also a really great match. They did do better than the match that they had on Dark, and let me tell you, these guys are big guys, but they move very quick in the ring. They're very agile, and they have some moves that you wouldn't expect for them to be using in the ring because of their size. I think they did a really great job with this. The crowd was behind it, and from what I know, Willie is not signed with AEW, but I do feel like this was that match that they're, I guess, using to really keep an eye on him in case they do want to sign him. In my opinion, they already have enough people on the boat, but I mean, he would be a great person to sign. I don't know if it's something that they should do right away because of, you know, other people that they have on the roster, but I do recommend going back and watching this match if you have not. I like when big guys are able to do things in the ring that people are not expecting, and I think that's the reason why they brought Willie Mack back to have a match with Brian Cage. However, Willie ends up losing this match, but like I said, losing isn't always a bad thing. If anything, he looks really great in this ring, and I hope he gets some more opportunities in the future. Up next, we have Jade Cargill, Layla Gray versus the Vanity Sisters. I believe that this is their first time wrestling in AEW. So this was a tag team match. If you missed this, you ain't missed shit. Oh my god, let me just say this. This match reminded me of one of my pet peeves with wrestling, and that's long hair in the ring. Some people, they're used to wrestling with, you know, long hair, so it doesn't become a distraction. But in this match with the Vanity Sisters, this is their first opportunity with AEW, I believe. So to me, I feel like they did not do a great job. The hair thing was all over the place. I absolutely cannot stand when they do not have control of their hair. If this is an issue, you get some braids, have a short hairstyle or something. This reminded me a couple of months back when Nyla Rose had those braids, and it was essentially, she was in a match with, I can't remember who it was, but she was also in a match with them braids because she just could not keep them on her face. They were just getting stuck onto her costume. It was absolutely annoying. So with this match, this is something that bothered me. And also, you know, I don't want to be hard on these girls, but the two girls that debuted, they were very green in the ring. I cannot stand when I feel like I'm watching you thinking in the ring. If they do not have what it takes to be on television, use them on Dark, use them on Elevation, and get someone else in the ring. This is supposed to be like a squash match, but a little bit longer than usual. Layla pretty much had control in this match majority of the time, and by the time she went for the pin and the referee started counting, Jade was like, hold on girl, let me get the win. And she tagged her, she came in and did the Jaded to whichever one of those sisters and ends up winning the match. I do not like this at all. You know, they always have one women's match every night, and I feel like they need to use that time to put the best that they can with the girls. This is the reason why people feel like women's wrestling is, like, you know, underrated, because when you guys put them on TV, you're putting this type of bullshit together, and this is what people think is like, oh, this is a bathroom break. And unfortunately, I have to say too, this right here could have been a bathroom break for me, or just not worth the time. They really need to do something to bring women's wrestling to the point where you can have 2 women matches a night. This is just not great enough. And another confusing thing too is AEW, they do a thing where stats are really important. So like when the wrestler come out, they'll show you know, what their records are for singles or for tag matches or whatever. But I just thought it was weird that for Jade, that this counted towards her streak. So now she's 49-0. But usually their stats are separated from singles and tag. So for whatever reason, this was counted towards her streak, and I'm not really sure what that's about, because they usually separate those things as far as records go. But for Jade, it seems like they did not go that route. Let's move on to the main event of the night. For the main event, we had Action Andretti versus Daniel Garcia. If Daniel Garcia wins this match, he can be tag partners with Chris Jericho for Rampage while they face Action Andretti and Ricky Starks. So I just want to say this, finally, no physical interaction with anyone from Jericho Appreciation Society during this match. So this is a one-on-one fair match, and this really played an advantage for both of these guys. This was a really great match. We got to see what both of them have to offer, and to be completely honest, I said this before, Daniel does not need to be part of Jericho Appreciation Society, and also Action Andretti is a great wrestler. With time, I can see him going for the ROH Pure Championship. I don't know if they'll be like, you know, keeping AEW guys and ROH guys separate, but that is something that they probably will look into in the future. This match really got a chance to showcase how athletic these two guys are, and without any interruptions from anybody, this match is something that I do recommend going back to watch. Now, while Jericho Appreciation Society was not involved in this match, we did get to hear Jericho and Sammy on commentary, and to be completely honest, it can be so annoying. But what I like about Chris Jericho on commentary is that he'll still be a heel, but he would give, you know, credit where credit is due, and he'll criticize where, you know, there needs to be work. And I like that he does that, because, you know, he's still giving positive feedback but also being a heel at the same time. It just works for somebody like Chris Jericho. So it's, to me, I find him entertaining. There was a portion on the commentary where he was like, JR is not wearing any pants, and JR was like, hey, at my age you can get away with a lot of things like not wearing pants while doing commentary. That was a cute little moment. But they did not take away from this match, even though they were on commentary, you know, talking shit, but also really saying things positive about Action Andretti as well. So it didn't take away from that moment with these two guys. Anyway, Daniel ends up losing cleanly, so I have nothing to complain about this match. It was great. However, we won't be seeing Daniel tagging with Chris Jericho next week on Dynamite, so I don't really think that really makes a big difference. Sammy is really great in the ring as well, but for that match, with a tag match, I kind of do expect to see some type of interference with other Jericho Appreciation Society members. So for Dynamite next week, we do have a few interesting things on the card. Now, we did talk about how Jungle Boy and Hook is going against Ethan Page and Matt Hardy. Also, we will have Brian Cage versus Bryan Danielson, so that's going to be interesting. We do have the match with Action Andretti, Ricky Starks versus Sammy and Chris Jericho, but we also have another match added onto that, and that is Darby Allin wishing death upon himself, wanting to go against Buddy Matthews. Not only did he say he wanted to go against Buddy, but he was like, he knows he can take down all the members of the House of Black, and that's if he makes it alive throughout this match. Now, Darby Allin is currently in Japan. He will be partnering up with Sting in a match that would be, not really sure what time it would be in Japan time. I'm gonna see how I can get my hands on watching that pay-per-view. I'm not sure yet as of this time, but you know, he'll be coming back from Japan, going straight into Dynamite against someone like Buddy Matthews. So this is going to be very interesting. I'm at the point where I'm like, maybe they might, you know, drop the titles. It's pretty early to tell, but it'll be an interesting match. Now, we also have Toni Storm, Britt Baker, and Ruby Soho. These three will be going against each other, so this will be very interesting. I could totally see them having someone on their corner interfering in any type of way on this match, so it'll be interesting. I'm not really interested in how they're going forward with that weird storyline that they got going on, but I am interested in seeing these three, hopefully with no interruptions from no one, go at it during this match. Now, I will be back on Monday. Yes, I said Monday. I will be watching Raw 30th anniversary episode. The thing is with that is I'm not gonna miss an opportunity to see my dead man. That's number one. Usually these shows are kind of interesting, and because they will be bringing legends and they'll be, you know, talking about past moments that everybody loves and whatnot. So, you know, the nostalgic feeling of everything is what usually bring older fans into watching, to see those moments and those legends come back just for the night or whatever. But that's also an opportunity for WWE to get it together and have a good show with the people who are currently on their roster. They need to take advantage of that. Them having some older fans coming in to watch the show just to see certain people, that if they're doing a great job with the newer guys that are on this roster with putting a good match or showing really great storylines, they can bring in new viewers for the show. Now, the only thing that I really can complain about is the Raw is XXX or Raw is XXX. I think is absolutely weird, and they probably did it that way to bring attention to it, because they could just go about saying Raw 30th anniversary only without having the 3 X's, and it's kind of like the it looks a little raunchy, to be honest, and I can relate to this because I'm straight edge, right? And when you get a straight edge tattoo, you can either get a 1X or you get a 3X. And I thought about it before I got my tattoo. At this time I was in college or whatnot, and I thought about it. I was like, if I get 3 X's, people who don't know what my tattoo means are going to think negative of it, and if you do know what it means, then you're gonna know exactly what it is. So I had to go with the option of getting 1X rather than 3 X's because I felt like it would look dirty, especially on a girl. So I went with 1X instead of 3. So the whole thing is probably a way to get people to watch the show with the 3 X's. But hopefully they take advantage of older fans watching so that they can have more fans watching the product. It's not that great to me, which is why I don't review it, because I just watch highlights. So I don't stick around long enough to, you know, throughout the whole 3 hours, because it's just not entertaining enough for me to sit down for 3 hours and watch. But I'll check this out and review it for you guys. So I will be back on Monday with another review. Guys, thanks for watching my video. Bye.